When you are faced with a storm, who do you call for help? If you have that one person you can call for help, who will that person be? Hi everyone, welcome again to KO Talk. It's been a while and we are back. They say we stumble, but we don't fall. We have this boy who hated a king of his country. He really hated that king. The reason he hated the king is because while he was young, he was separated from his parents, and that is the last time he saw his parents. The king took his parents and he never saw his parents again. The boy had grown a lot of hatred since he was small until now he was an adult. He didn't understand why he was separated with his parents, and he saw the king like he was a very bad person. But later on he came to realize, at his adult age, he came to realize that at that time they had the black bird flu and the king was separating of the affected people from the people who were not affected, and his parents were affected, so they were separated so that they will not see the trauma, or they will not see the trauma that they were going to, and they will not transfer the sickness to the kids. He came to realize that the separation wasn't done in a bad motive, but it was done in a good motive for the people to prevent death of more people. And that is exactly what happens in our lives today. We go through a lot of challenges. We tend to see that the God we serve is not good. If God is good, why are we still suffering? If God is this, why is this one happening to me? Why is that one happening to me? Why has it done like this? I lost a family member some time back, and actually the burial was on last Friday, and we were questioning God of like, why did you do this? It wasn't that she had a contagious disease that could transfer unto us, but at some point there's some place where we question why, and sometimes we grow hatred to this, and we say maybe God does not exist. If he exists, why are we going through things? If really he existed, why should we pass all through these challenges? But just let us know, it's just like gold. When you go to a gold mine, the gold has to go through very hot fire, very hot fire, for it to be refined and to come outside a pure gold. It has to go through the hot fire without for it to come out good. And also, let's think of, maybe you're just walking on the road and you saw a tree that is having fruits, and when you look at those fruits, you like, I need to have like one piece of the fruit. They say, there's a saying in my country that always says, mti wenye matunda ndio unaporwa mawe. That means a tree that has fruits, mostly it's the one that is thrown stones. Maybe the persons that are around you, maybe all the things that you're going through, it's because there's a fruit that is seen in you, and people are throwing the stones to get that fruit. But what do we give out? Mostly it's anger, mostly it's hatred, mostly we give the negative. And let us try our level best. Take the example of this boy. He hated the king, thinking the king, why he separated with his parents, but later he realized that the king did this for his betterment, for his good. Sometimes you pass through challenges. Take yourself as if you are gold. Actually, we are gold in the eyes of God. We are so precious to Him. It's the same way that gold is passing through a lot of fire, a lot of heat to become a refined gold. It's the same way that you are passing through challenges to become out a refined person. The same way that you might see a fruit and you pick a stone and you want to throw to that. Actually, when we were kids, we used to do that. When you pass and you see a fruit, mostly when we were in the village, when you see a fruit and it a tree and there's a lot of fruits there, you take a stone and you throw the stone expecting a fruit back. So when these people, they're throwing those allegations to you, when they're doing whatever that they're doing to you, take it in mind. Give them the fruit. Give them the fruit. Let us reduce the anger. Let us reduce the hatred. Let us always try our level best to give out the fruit that they are looking from our lives. You might think that you are not worthy enough. And actually, when you try to check all this, when you go through all this, you find that mostly those people are so close to God, so close to God. They pass through a lot of challenges. I can give example from the Bible. I'm a Christian. I can give an example from the Bible. We have Job. Job was so close to God. He was known as a righteous man in the eyes of the Lord. Look what he went through. He lost everything that he had. He lost his family. He lost his kids. The only person who remained was the wife. And later on, we see a better Job, more richer than what was taken from him, more blessed than what he was from him, than what was taken from him. Let's talk about David. David was there. He was a servant. At one point, he was a servant. But from there, he rose and he became the king. Let's talk about Joseph. He was sold by his brothers. He was thrown in a pit He was taken from a pit, taken to slavery, stayed for years in slavery. He even went to jail. But look, the Joseph that we learn now. From there, he was just raised to a prime minister. When we are going through challenges, that is the time we need not to denounce our God. Let's talk about Daniel. Daniel was always praying. He was close to God. And they plotted and threw him in the den of lions. And from there, what do we see? None of the lions touched Daniel until he got up in the morning and he was taken out. Let us talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were taken in fire, but the fire didn't even hurt their hair. They came out very good. Let us know that when we are passing through these challenges, God is preparing us. God is there. God doesn't leave. He doesn't leave. He's always there. When we are passing all through these challenges, He's there. Let us give the fruit that is supposed to be given. For some of us, we taught some time back when we were learning about Christianity. I'm talking about myself. We were told when you come to God, everything will be okay. You'll have your life will be better than the life that you're living now. But when you came to Christianity, or when you came to believe, either in Christian, Muslim, but when you came to believe, you find it's not a bed of roses as you thought it was. It's not a bed of roses. And does it mean those people were lying to us? No. They were not lying to us. Even when Jesus was with his disciples, he was inside the boat, but he was sleeping. Still, they faced a storm. Not because Jesus was not there. He was in presence, but they faced a storm. And when they faced a storm, they woke up Jesus. They woke him up. Master, we are dying. And he didn't do anything. He only rose up and raised his hand, and all went to silent. So it doesn't mean when you are with God, you will not pass the challenges. No. When you are with God, you will pass challenges. God is inside your heart. You will pass through challenges. But what do? Do you wake him? And it's not like he's so sleeping that he doesn't know what is happening to you. At some point, we have our parents. For those who lost their parents, I'm sorry. But we have some people we look up to. We have our elders. When you miss something, you go to them like, daddy, or some of us we are parents, right? The kid will come on to you, daddy, I need something. And you will give, maybe will ask you the thing in the night, and by the time you sleep in the morning, it's not like you don't know this is your kid. It's not like this kid is not living in your house. She's living in your house. And you wake up in the morning and you go to work. And you have a work day, and when you come back, the kid reminds you, daddy, I asked you yesterday to bring for me this one. Did you bring? Sometimes it's not like God doesn't know what we want. We are told in, ask and it shall be given. Look and you shall find. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened. So when you are passing through these challenges, who are you looking up to? Who are you looking up to? Do you knock the door like, please God, I'm here, help me? Do you start looking for God? I'm here, please God, help me? Do you wake him like, God, please, this is more than what I can do? And also, when I listened to Pastor Elizabeth Mokoro, at some point there's something that she said and it touched me. Sometimes God lets the devil to exhaust all his power, then God shows up. Sometimes he lets him to exhaust all. What he did to Job, he took his kids, he took his animal, he took all his wealth. But later on, he took his health also. Job was so sick, he was left with only bones. He exhausted all, but Job remained faithful. And from there, after he exhausted all, Job was restored everything. So the challenges you're going through, you might know God did not come to Job and told him like, Job, I sent Satan there to tempt you. No. When Job was going through all this, he only said, naked I come, naked will I go. He didn't like face like, God, he sent this to me, he did this to me. But he kept his faith until the last time. My question to you is, what do you do when you face challenges? Who do you turn to? Do you go to the witches and sorcerers? Do you go to your knees to look for God? Do you go for your friends for advice? What do you do when you have a storm? When you are in the storm? What do you do? That is the question I will leave you to always think about it. When you are in a storm, what do you do? It doesn't mean that God is away from you. It doesn't mean that God does not know what is happening to you. No. But what do you do when you are in a storm? That is a question. That's a question for you. Continue thinking, and always remember, when you are in a storm, whenever that you're in a storm, in whichever situation that you are, God is there with you. He's not away. He's there with you. But it's you to decide when this storm is raging, when the storm is raging too much, who do you call for help? Where do you seek your help? Where do you look for help? What is the important thing that you do to find help? That is the question I leave unto you. Until next time, bye-bye, and always remember our slogan. It's always to keep that peace. Bye-bye.